So I'm here with my older sister.
Less of the old,
Yeah,
please.
we I thought it would be quite nice in honor of Celiac Awareness Month to have a chat with my sister because she's actually a celiac herself. Um, I've actually grown up around the whole celiac awareness, and I thought it'd be really nice to ask her some questions about being a celiac. Introduce yourself.
My name is Liv. I am the oldest sister. Um, I have lived with celiac disease for 12 years now. I feel like I've become a bit of a pro, but even still, I make errors up to this date. I can't say that I am always 1,000% hot on it. I have to say, my husband is a lot better at keeping tabs on my celiacs and
And he
all
cooks really good
and
food
yeah,
as well.
and all my requirements better than I do. I feel like when I'm in his company, I just completely like switch off.
Yeah.
And
It's because
it's
though he's so aware and he's so on it with people. Like
oh,
in
100%.
restaurants as well. He's so good at that.
I think it's always the concerned, and I'm sure other loved ones who have got people in their life that have the celiac disease, that they've seen their loved ones at their lowest, at their most unhealthy, kind of at a very scary point in their life. Like for myself, I was in excruciating pain all the time, and I'd
Mm.
lived with it for so long that I didn't really know any different. And I
Yeah.
think that plays such a huge part in it, is that once you are pain free and you've got a diagnosis, it just completely transforms your life. And you then just go, how did I live that long
With
in
it.
so much pain?
Yeah.
But then on the other side of it, when you do go and get people to kind of help you and advise you before my diagnosis, I was given other things. Oh, it's stress, it's
Mm.
IBS, it's maybe your age, it could be your periods and things like that, because it's
It was never
unfortunately
like specified
no.
until really, really late,
Yeah, so
which was really unfortunate.
I was 26 when I was diagnosed, and I've lived with it for 12 years, so you can do the
Mm.
math. And it when I had my diagnosis, it was a very scary point. Um, it was it was one night my friend came over for dinner. I'd always been in a lot of discomfort, and I had dropped a significant amount of weight in a very short period of time. Now, being a 26-year-old, at that point, I was like, I can eat whatever I want. And I'm still losing weight. And I think because we didn't have social media, we didn't have accessibility like we do now, that in my mind, I'm like, oh, this is great. Like I can eat ice buns for my breakfast, I can have an almond croissant for my lunch, and it
Yeah.
wouldn't affect me in any shape or form. And it wasn't until my family had kind of really noticed that I had lost a lot of weight, because I wasn't living at home at the time, and I came back, and I remember you all going,
Yeah. Well, I was still really young.
yeah, you were.
So I noticed like a dramatic weight dip, but I was still quite young, so I couldn't really remember to the T.
When I mean a dramatic amount of weight, I'd lost like maybe 3 stone in a
Mm.
very short period of time. I went from like a comfortable like 10 to 12 to a maybe a 4 to 6. One evening I was with my friend and we decided to get fish and chips. And I remember eating half of it, and it was really instant, and I think it was
Mm.
obviously battered food, chips.
Yeah, it was like an immediate
It was
effect.
immediate, and the pain that I was in was just excruciating, to the degree that I actually blacked out at the bottom of my stairs. My friend drove me to our local A&E department, and they originally thought I had appendicitis because of where the severity of the pain was. And obviously all the things I was saying, I had pain up my back, it was in my legs, it was making me feel sick. I wasn't sick, but it was making me feel that way. And they then did multiple tests on me the next day. They checked me for ulcerative colitis, Crohn's, and then it transpired that I was diagnosed with celiac disease. And I
Mm.
think it was more the reassurance that I knew I wasn't crazy, for one.
Because you always knew that there was something
Yeah,
wrong.
and I
Yeah.
think a lot of the time when people turn around and constantly say, "No, you're fine,"
Mm.
I've got stomach ache and I'm fine.
Yeah.
It was a revelation, because I was then like, I now have a diagnosis that I can now improve my quality of life. And that was always an amazing thing. But my symptoms from the beginning were always very different.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask about that. A couple of questions, a list of things that we'll go through when we chat about everything. But one of them was, what symptoms were you experiencing before you knew what you actually had, before you were diagnosed with celiac?
I found it fascinating when I actually got the diagnosis, because a lot of the symptoms that I had, I didn't realize were actually part of my autoimmune disease. So, obviously, I never really got the stomach ache. I did every now and then when I ate certain food, and it was usually fried food. Fried food
That was like a trigger.
always was made my stomach really bad. But the back pain that I used to get was very debilitating, and it would happen within a couple of hours. So I would
It was like
obviously, it
unbearable.
was obviously the weight loss was another massive symptom of mine. And I would also have I don't know if anyone else has had this one, but I had really bad gum issues.
Really?
Really bad, because it's obviously an autoimmune
Yeah.
thing.
It's all connected, isn't
It's all
it?
connected, and I was getting constant bleeding gums,
Yeah.
and I didn't know. But this was probably towards the end of my diagnosis, before I was diagnosed. I was in and out of the dentist constantly, and I'm very good at my dental, and even my dentist was like, "Your flossing's great, you're doing everything right, bleeding gums and gingivitis and all that stuff." It's very glamorous,
Mm.
very glamorous.
Yeah, but it's
Um,
the real side, isn't it?
it is. Maybe other people that have very similar symptoms, or they
Yeah.
have very different symptoms. This was just one of mine. I do actually have quite a few people in my life that have been diagnosed celiac. Her main one was anemia and hair loss.
Yeah,
So
it's
that was a big
crazy.
trigger for her. My sister-in-law has recently been diagnosed in the last 18 months, and hers was skin rashes, which is one of my symptoms as well. Mine's on my face. I get dermatitis in one
Yeah.
particular part of
It's
my
always on this part.
Jess, all over her body,
Mm.
stomach issues, but not any of the other symptoms I had. And one of my other guy friend of mine, he was constantly ill.
Yeah.
Like, he was never getting better. He would jump from cold to cold to cold to flu
It's like
to
his body was just shutting
stomach bug,
down.
and that was a main side effect for him. So
Yeah, it's
symptoms
crazy.
can come in many different ways. So I'm very intrigued to see what other
Yeah.
symptoms other people have had.
It's good to talk about it. But also, like, what has been the biggest adjustment since finding out that you're diagnosed? Like, obviously, your food's going to change, everything's going to change in your way of day-to-day life. And what was the hardest, would you say? Would you say food?
Restaurants.
Yeah, restaurants. That's so true. Yeah.
Restaurants and friends' houses, because you can control what goes on in your own home, but
And what you're eating.
when
Yeah.
you're trusting other people to also be aware of your
Mm,
condition, and you feel really awkward saying these things,
yeah.
that you go to someone's house and you notice that they've put your gluten-free bread in their usual toaster,
Yeah.
and then you feel difficult, because then you go, I can't now have that. And it was, I suppose the hardest part was explaining to people in
Yeah.
there, like, when I come over, please don't be offended if I bring my own stuff and I make it my way.
You kind
Or
of have to think ahead.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
you have to
I
plan ahead of
found,
time.
yeah, eating out was really awkward, because I'm
Mm.
very much a people pleaser, that I don't want to cause any
Yeah,
issues.
and then they go for dessert, wouldn't you? And they go, "Oh, you've got salad, fruit salad."
Sorbet.
Yeah. Oh,
Sorbet.
what's a
Sorbet,
sorbet?
ice cream, and a chocolate brownie. And
Yes.
it was
Oh,
those were always the three things. And I'd look at, like, everyone else's tart tatin and
so actually, that's
like
a punishment.
sticky toffee pudding, and I'd be like,
Yeah. Don't want
I would like
that.
that. But it's very difficult. Like, restaurants now, 1,000%
Yeah.
have come
They're a
leaps and
lot. They're a lot
bounds.
more adjusting to people's dietary
Well, they
requirements.
ask.
Yeah.
Back when I
Yeah,
first
they
got
do.
diagnosed,
Yeah,
they never
yeah,
asked. I
yeah,
would have to put it on my notes. I'd have to, like, I'd even ring ahead. Chris would
yeah,
ring ahead to
yeah,
check about the fryers, because obviously the cross contamination. And I think there's a lot more knowledge
yeah. Behind
around
it
it
now.
now.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. What do you think are some common misconceptions people have about celiac disease?
That it's just being gluten free,
Yeah, everyone just thinks it's the same, isn't it?
or it's a choice.
Yeah.
And I promise you, I think most people that are diagnosed with celiac would much prefer to smash down a
Mm.
Krispy Kreme
Yeah.
or a normal pizza. It's not, I'm so lucky with the choices that I have, and there are some amazing businesses out there that are now offering fantastic alternatives.
Yeah.
But I would 1,000%
Yeah.
love
You'd
to,
love a big donut.
I'd love a donut. Yeah, donuts
Yeah.
were my kryptonite,
Yeah.
and I've got this. I feel like it's still in my brain of what they should taste like, and every time I have one, I'm like,
It's not
it's
the
just not the same.
same.
But I'm very lucky that there are people out there that are trying to find alternatives and do these things for people like myself. So I
Yeah.
feel incredibly fortunate, considering I was explaining to my sister, I was like,
Mm.
there were people before myself that the only way that they could get gluten-free stuff was prescription.
Yeah.
They'd have to go to their doctor, get a prescription for their flour, and
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah.
Whereas now you go into
Mm.
M&S, Waitrose, Tesco, wherever, and there's a gluten-free section, and sometimes you go, oh, it's not as good as everyone else's options, but there are
At least there is a
fantastic options
section.
still.
Yeah. How has being celiac changed your relationship with food?
Funnily enough, I think it's actually changed it for the better.
Better. Yeah, that's interesting.
Which I don't know if other people might disagree with, but my diet before was appalling. I was a massive sugar addict
Yeah.
when I was younger. Not so much now. I'm definitely a savory girl. Crisps and dip from M&S is like my kryptonite.
It's
But
anyone's kryptonite.
before, it used to be, donuts, almond croissants, ice buns,
Yeah.
all the things that
Oh,
are
do you remember you
just,
getting ice buns?
oh God, I had some very strange addiction to those.
Yeah.
But because I then got the diagnosis, I had to reevaluate everything, because it's not just the now, it's pre-planning for my future.
Yeah.
Because it's something I have to live with for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
But also it's something that I know that if I don't take this seriously, how it's going to affect me in the long run.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, definitely.
and I think that it's made me really think about what I'm putting into my body, because I have to.
Yeah.
And actually now because I want to.
Yeah.
Sometimes my flares
Months.
can be months.
Yeah.
And I'm still having to deal with the ramifications of, and also most of the time that I get a flare, I've usually caused it myself. It's more that I've cut something and not even checked with Chris that he's cut
something else with it. But it's that easy. It is that easy though.
Yeah.
For cross contamination. What advice would you give to someone newly diagnosed?
That's quite. It's a. I think if I look back on how I would love to have the advice, it's more what is open to you. With the NHS, you have access to a nutritionist.
Yeah.
Or a dietary specialist, so your GP can refer you.
Mm.
I didn't have that at the time,
Yeah, you
but
didn't have it as an option, did you?
I was very lucky with the doctor that I had, in that he put me on what is called the AIP diet, which is called the autoimmune protocol. And basically, I was constantly in a level of inflammation that I just couldn't tackle myself so early on. So I went on this diet, and it basically strips out anything that causes inflammation.
It's such a good diet to go on. It's horrible though. It's brutal.
It is very brutal, but it's not something that you're on forever. And it kick-started my body to heal on its own, because I couldn't do that in the beginning. I was so far gone with what I had already done to myself that I didn't know of a way. And I have to say, his advice was amazing. And I still do the AIP diet every now and then.
Yeah.
Just to kind of really, if I know that I've had a flare.
Yeah. It's just to like narrow things down, isn't it?
Yeah. And I would say that be grateful that the diagnosis has been there, because you've clearly been suffering, or you've had something, like a loved one has been concerned, and have a diagnosis for something is life changing.
And it will get better. Like once you figure it out, it will get, especially from like a sibling or like a family perspective. You see someone you love like go through something so horrible and uncomfortable, and they're trying to navigate it, and you kind of feel like there's no like end, because it's just like constant trying to figure stuff out, but you feel really comfortable now with what you're eating.
Oh God, and there's amazing people on social media that also have the diagnosis that give amazing recipes. There's a community, and you're not alone. I think there is a statistic that says that in the UK, 1 in 100 people have
Yeah.
celiac disease, but only 36% of people
Mm.
actually get diagnosed.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I think that works out like 100,000 people are walking around
Yeah.
with this disease that they don't even know that they have, which I
Yeah.
found was quite a surprising statistic.
Yeah, it is surprising. Yeah, it really is. I didn't even know that that was a statistic until you told me. How easy or hard is it to navigate UK supermarket shelves, would you say?
I think they've come leaps and bounds
Yeah,
over
they
the
really have.
years. I remember going in when I first got diagnosed. I remember going into Tesco, our local Tesco's,
Yeah.
and I mean the shelf I think had about 12 things on it, and it
Yeah,
was
it
all
did.
sweets. It was
Yeah.
all sweet stuff.
Nothing
It was
savory
all
or
Bakewell tarts. It
yeah,
was all like
brownie
brownie. It
things.
was all
Yeah.
like cookies and cakes, which don't get me wrong,
Yeah. Love a sweet
I
treat.
love a sweet treat. But when you're there going, I
Mm.
would really like an alternative. Like gravies weren't even a
Yeah.
thing, whereas now gluten-free gravies.
Yeah.
The only thing that I do think that would be better is to perhaps have it a bit more to the front,
Yeah.
because like
Not as hidden away.
I feel like I'm an with it. You are perhaps like an afterthought
Mm.
that you're kind of
You have to actually go on a hunt for it.
yes. It's
Yeah.
not
And
as
ask like, oh, where is the aisles?
yes, and I feel like in some supermarkets it's amazing. They have like the signs at the top, but in others there's no like
No.
free from section. So I do feel like you're then just trawling up and down the aisles, and it would be nice to have it perhaps a little bit closer.
Yeah.
But you know,
Last question, because obviously this is about Celiac Awareness Month, but also about Bay's Kitchen and our products as well. But what is your favorite Bay's Kitchen product, and how would you say it differs from what is already out there?
teriyaki.
Yeah,
I am
solid.
a Japanese food lover,
Yeah,
and
solid option.
oh my god, when you gave that to me to try, I was
Yeah,
like, win, because poor Chris, like I said, he is the cook in the family. I am a can. He's just better.
yeah, he does it
He does
best.
it best, and I always
Yeah,
say that to him. He does it best,
yeah.
and I always feel really bad because whenever I wanted like teriyaki chicken or
Mm.
cod or
It's
something
just
like
so
that,
many
he
ingredients.
would have to make everything from scratch.
Yeah,
Whereas I feel like this is so great because it's all in one little area
yeah.
and it makes it so easy, but it's so tasty at the same
Yeah, and
time.
it
So
is. And that's the whole point of it. It's convenience. And that's what we want people to feel when they have our products, that it's just easy, simple, and no worries about having to cook for get loads of ingredients for like a big family or something. You just put in the sauce and you're done.
yeah,
Um,
1000%.
yeah, that's all my questions.
Oh,
Thank
thank you.
you. Thank you. Thank you.